We got another story that we can hop into. A gentleman in Minneapolis is attempting to start an encampment. The city is responding swiftly. So there's people are trying to get involved down in the city. They're realizing that Mayor Jacob Fry has abandoned them. They're realizing that Hennepin County is not coming to save them. They're realizing that after the third district police department fell back in the riot days, people have realized that there's no actual sense of order in that town. There's nobody laying down the law. So people, as a result, you see this in San Francisco, you see this in other areas of the country, you see this where people who have been abandoned, unfortunately, by mostly Democratic policies and government, regrettably, and this, I'm not saying this because I'm like, oh, big Republican cities are doing so great, and most of the time they aren't. Most of the time they aren't. At least Democratic cities have money. But that's just a fact, is that they don't take decent care of their citizens most of the time. And when they have to deal with these types of homeless encampments, they don't do anything meaningful about it because, regrettably, Democrats have been suckered in, for the most part, into believing this lie that the majority of them are transitionary, they don't want to be homeless, or that they're not doing it because they're drug addicts when, and let's get honest here, people, 95%, and I will say this every time, are people with a mental illness who refuse to get help for it. It's not that they can't get help for it, it's that the resources are there in these cities and they refuse to. They would prefer to stay on the streets. They would prefer to stay in open-air drug markets, and many people refuse to acknowledge that. Many people in these cities will go, well, then we need mental health outreach programs. And I'm like, well, really what you need to do is get them off the streets. You can't have people on the streets in a decent society. And this is where this leans into the grander debate around, like, oh, hostile architecture. What is the city doing, making sure that people can't sleep on their benches? The fuck would you rather we do? Are you saying you'd prefer that they have somewhere to sleep on public property where people are supposed to go wait for buses? You'd rather that be the situation? Great, that's great. If you want to live in a fantasy land where you can open your home to people, Actually, if you want your town to invest in major programs for druggies, like encampment programs where we can, build them housing first, like that freak Omar Fateh in Minneapolis is trying to do, you can fund that, absolutely, but you don't make the rest of your town go down with you. Open up your house to the druggies and the criminals. Do that. Wouldn't you rather be the person that you claim to be, which is this caring, sympathetic person where the sympathy and empathy leads all of your policies? Then open your doors. I'm sorry, but if you're that sympathetic of a person, open your doors, because the rest of the society, the rest of the town, the rest of the people, they're funding soup kitchens, they're funding mental health outreach programs, and it's not working. It's not working because, regrettably, for the most part, homelessness is a choice. Anyways, this is something that we got to address. We got to get real about people, otherwise we can never make meaningful policy. In July to August of 2025, this gentleman publicly announced that he would allow homeless people to encamp on his commercial parking lots at East Lake Street and 28th Avenue South in Minneapolis. Shitty area. Don't even worry about it. You're not losing much. Up to 45 people reportedly lived there. He said he took this step because he believed the city's bureaucratic approach was failing unhoused people, and that offering them a place to stay would give them dignity and some stability. Yes, somewhere where they can abuse drugs together and you give them Narcan, just in case. Just in case. You know what I mean? Instead of letting nature take its course. Alrighty.
The man at the center of an encampment dispute with the city of Minneapolis just opened a temporary outreach hub for people who are homeless. It's at the intersection of 28th and East Lake Street. Hamoudi Sabri says this is a temporary spot for people to access hygiene stations, including portable bathrooms, hand washing stations, and hygiene items. He says they can also safely connect with outreach managers there. Sabri was recently served with a restraining order forbidding unsheltered people from camping in a makeshift encampment built on his property in that same area. A city spokesperson sent us a statement after the opening of the hub, saying, quote, Mr. Sabri has failed to obtain any of the necessary permits or land use approvals required for his proposed use of the property.
So it's illegal. Listen, a lot of people will go, whoa, bureaucratic, shh. It's not working. It's not working. These 40 people that were living here, do you think they got jobs in that meantime? Do you think that they meaningfully contributed to society besides sitting outside of a Walmart with a piece of cardboard? Do you really think that these people are out there building anything of themselves during the time where they're being given everything hand over foot? They're like, yep, come sleep here, come do all of this. Folks, when people struggle, they either flounder and die, or they make something of themselves in this world. And regrettably, I don't believe that we're doing that enough. I don't believe we're letting the flounder people, the people who are feckless, the people in this society who don't contribute, the people in this society who on a grander scale provide nothing to the world. Back in the day where we had no welfare system, we had nothing along those lines, we used to let those people be the vagrants of society, and we used to allow them to fall to the waysides. Now this new outreach program where we have to give them all free public buses where they can go sit behind you. That person who did not pay to support the public city bus that they are allowed to use for free is going to sit behind you, and then they're going to stab you in the neck, just like that one Ukrainian woman. She was an immigrant and she wasn't even safe. Folks, I want us to get real over this, and regrettably, what Minneapolis and a lot of Democratic-run cities refuse to do is get real. People will look at Minneapolis right now and they'll say they're being the big bully. I will say that more cities need to do this. More cities need to. More cities need to let you know that you cannot be doing this sort of nonsense. We cannot create an environment where these homeless people are an endangered species, and we need to save them. We need to save them by giving them somewhere to lay on the streets. We need to save them by not kicking them out and going, nope, you can't sleep here. Sorry. This empathy first shit has not worked ever since people have started trying it. I'm sorry. Go to church. You know what I mean? Go to church and get soup. Go to church and go... by the way, you'll hear the homeless people, they'll go, I don't go to those homeless encampment places because people steal. I'm like, what do they have to steal? What do you have to steal? Go lay down, go rest, go work in the morning. That's not that hard.
Should he continue with unpermitted use of the property, the city will follow standard procedures for such violations.
Bulldoze it. Bulldoze the entire encampment. I don't want to see it. I'm sorry. If I come down there, Minneapolis, and you're running like if the people of Minneapolis have to take it into their own hands and start saving these people, if the police will not do anything, if the actual government won't do anything, Minneapolis, I'm sorry, I can't visit anymore. I mean, to be fair, I haven't wanted to in the longest time. The last time I went down there, someone went around shooting a bunch of Congress people. So let me just be honest with you. Minnesota does not have a great reputation right now. Their government is embroiled in fraud. If you regrettably, it is the most politically uninformed people. I will bring up, these sorts of policies to people, and they'll call me cruel. And I will go, okay, then, well, tell me who the governor is. And they will look at you blank-faced. These people have these strong opinions of empathy first, about how you knowing facts and knowing statistics, and you knowing that our outreach programs don't actually do anything, you knowing that is a threat to them wanting to waste money. You knowing that is a threat to the soup kitchen that is a waste of money. You knowing that is a threat to all of these drug abuse centers where people can go do drugs and then have overseeing. They bring their own drugs. It's literally it's the drug resistance centers and such. This is not fantasy. This is not out there. These are real policies that are being tried in cities that are making the communities worse. And when John Oliver does a testimonial going, these programs are working. They are really signs that they are making the community a much safer area to live in. Do you know who his testimonial is for that? It's the drug abuser behind the curtain. Literally like the Wizard of Oz. His name was Oz in the program they used. Oz is known as a charlatan who only does anything to benefit himself. That's exactly who he's taking the testimonial from. I'm sorry. It's just like the prostitution thing that he did, where he was like, oh yeah, let's listen to the prostitutes on how we need to deal with prostitution. Oh, let's listen to the criminals? Let's listen to the criminals on how we need to deal with this criminal institution. I'm still in favor of legalizing prostitution. If you want to go whore yourself out, I really don't care. I honestly don't think that we need anything to restrict you from that. We need something to restrict sex trafficking. That's what we need to be targeting. But when I'm saying, people are like, oh, you can't, prostitution legal is gonna make homelessness legal, make all of this legal. Why not? Why not? There's nothing. Run a whorehouse. Run a whorehouse if you really want to. Harlots is a good TV show. Make it real. Oh my God, that was one of the funniest things. Is that like when I was about to fly to Las Vegas, one of these guys in our group was like, "Yeah, let's go to the fucking the harlot house," and I'm like, "What? All right, cool." Weird thing to say. The city of Minneapolis has declared the site as a public health nuisance, citing multiple violations including drug paraphernalia, hazardous waste, no proper sanitation or water access, open fires, unsafe structures, and junk accumulation. CBS News. Folks, the city issued notices and fines on the order of around $15,000 in September, and in September filed a lawsuit against Sabri. And obtained a temporary restraining order preventing him from allowing further encampments on his properties. Good! A mass shooting at the encampment also, at least 8 people shot, 1 fatality, helped precipitate the city's decision to clear it. Sabri disputes the city's characterization, calling the action political theater, and insists his motivation is purely humanitarian. Folks, you're giving these people a place to shoot up and shoot each other. Can we please acknowledge the fact that most of these people are not the sympathetic, people in a doldrum or whatever. Most of these people are violent criminals and they need to be stopped. I'm sorry. Reagan was a little bit right in some extent where he goes, homelessness to a vast degree can be a choice. And once again, John Oliver goes, well, that's a dickish Republican policy. I'm like, okay, well, do you actually have a reason that he's wrong? And then he provides no counter argument. Folks,